one thing I get asked all the time as a relationship expert and a relationship coach is, how did I stop dating narcissists? And the truth is that it's actually something a little bit more interwoven spiritually than you may or may not know. For those who work with me, they understand that I'm a highly spiritual person. I believe in Christ. I believe in Jesus. I have a very deep and loving relationship with God. And it was such a very important relationship that I actually needed to cultivate first in order for me to stop being attracted to narcissistic partners. And the reason is because as someone who has, a disorganized kind of attachment style based off of my family system and my family upbringing, there is this push-pull, right? This innate distrust, and this need to be loved while simultaneously avoiding relationships. And the people who really love that are narcissists. They want you to love them. They want you to need them. And then they simultaneously also push you away. So it's this push-pull sort of chaos that you're used to. And when that's like the foundation of how you understand relationships, well, that's what you gravitate towards. So my relationship with God was something I really had to strengthen first before I really could date better partners. And now, no matter what your relationship is to the Creator, to the Most High, to Jesus, whomever, understanding that love from the Creator is absolutely essential to understanding that you are chosen first. So therefore, now you have the ability to choose others. It feels so much better, especially when you're used to walking this life alone. When you're used to feeling as though you are misunderstood deeply and that people really don't want to connect with you, or people really don't want to choose you. When you have this foundation that lets you know that you were already chosen first, it makes the whole process of dating so much more relaxed, so much more seamless. It just makes it a lot easier. And so that was where I actually started. It was me rebuilding my relationship with my faith, rebuilding my relationship with Christ, me rebuilding my relationship with love at its core, at its foundation, through God. And from there, I was able to, actually I was given, we'll say, these mantras that, my favorite mantras are like, God, if it isn't this, then remove this person from my life. And God would take that person out within like 3 months, if they weren't the thing. And if it isn't this, God, it gets to be better. I know it gets to be better. I know you have someone better for me. That was something that happened every single time. So my dates got better. They got progressively better over time. Oh my goodness. And the duration of like between each person was like shorter. So if they were removed from my life, the duration was like, first it was like maybe it took like 3 months. Then the next time it only took like 6 weeks. And then maybe it took like 2 weeks. So I was getting closer and closer to what I said that I was asking for. And then when I finally met my husband, I kept saying this prayer. I kept saying like, God, if this isn't it, like just, remove this from my life. I'm not strong enough to do it on my own. Please help me out. And Eric stayed. Eric stayed, and so I just knew that like this having that relationship with God was such a beautiful partnership that I got to trust, that I got to rely on, that helped me build a secure attachment from where my attachment was a disorganized attachment style. It helped me build a secure attachment so I could actually now translate that to other people. And of course, that still required that I did my part, my work. I still had to, go see my own therapist. I still had to, do the inner healing and inner child work. I still had to do all of these things, but I was guided by the love of God. I was guided by God. And, I remember before every single date, and this was like one of my favorite things to say was like, God, I'm going on this date today. I'm so grateful that, I get to meet someone new. And I just ask that this leaves me feeling more confident, more secure in myself. And that we both just have a really beautiful conversation. If it's not us, becoming partners, at least we like leave the date feeling better than we left. Better than, we started or whatever. So I met really wonderful people, and so all of this is just to let you know that behind all of the work that I do, that I feel inspired to do, behind the work that I do to help lead and guide women into a deeper relationship with themselves and a deeper relationship to partnership, it starts at the foundation with God. And it's always been God, and it will always be God. And, you know, I feel like if you are someone who has a faith or has some sort of spiritual connection to the Most High, but you don't know how to use it, or you don't know how to work with the energy of love and Christ's love, but you want to learn that skill set, you want to be more internally driven, and you want to understand what surrender really feels like. I mean, as a woman, surrender is our posture in the feminine. And it actually feels really good when you feel safe with the masculine who's going to guide and take care of things for you. Like, it feels really nice not having to feel like I'm responsible for managing everything all the time. And so my partnership with God allowed me to surrender and sit back and be more of the feminine approach in my dating life, in my history, in my dating experiences, which led me to a husband who is very grounded in his masculinity, who is very secure in his masculinity, who could hold space for responsibility just as much as I held space for responsibility as a very strong masculine, masculine sort of woman, masculine energy woman. And learning that healthy masculines exist and starting and seeing that first from my relationship with God, with Christ, knowing that also God was mirroring the feminine for me as well, that it was safe for me to surrender, that it's safe for me to be in flow, that it's safe for me to be creative and excited and, and just kind of like, spontaneous and all of these things, and to trust my intuition. All of that got to be in play as in my dating life. And that is why I have the results that I have. This is how I get the results for the women in my life as well. It's this. And so for some reason, I just felt the need to share, this experience, this process. And I feel like if you feel called or drawn to my experience and my words, then we may be a good fit for partnership as we partner together with God to get you the love that you desire, to help you heal from those unhealthy, those toxic, those narcissistic sort of experiences that have created more chaos than peace. And to help you build a life that you deeply love in partnership with God.